Welcome, everyone, once again to another episode of the Transatlantic Takedown. Now, of course, it's at a new time, a new day. I think this might suit people a little better in terms of time and so on. And I'm Derek in Ireland, and once again, joined by Megan in New York. How are you doing, Megan?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things had taken place during wrestling this week. I mean, a lot of things.
It's
So,
crazy, yeah.
um, yeah, I'm just kind of excited to talk about what's been going on in
Yeah,
wrestling.
well, look, we're only 5 weeks out from the showcase of the Immortals in Vegas, WrestleMania 41, and business has been picking up full steam. So I think a good place to start is probably with SmackDown last Friday night and what
Right.
transpired there.
Hey,
Hey, Jonathan,
I am. I am. Yes, I am.
Megan,
All right.
innocent. I don't know about
Yes, I
that.
am. But yes. So on to SmackDown, which we had the return of both Randy
Yeah,
and Jay Cargill. But leading up to the return of Jay Cargill, we had a very emotional segment between Bianca and Naomi, where Naomi confessed. She confessed. She didn't confess.
Rikishi style.
Yeah. She didn't confess willingly. Bianca kind of had to like squeeze it out of her, but she admitted that she was the one that attacked Jade back in November. And
Did she really, though? Did she really? I don't know. Like, where's this going to lead? It just seems a little bit too simplified,
I
you know.
mean, did she do it physically? Was she the one that physically did it? I think she did. But
Mm,
um the motive behind it.
I did it for the Rock. Yeah, no,
Yeah, like the motive, cuz sometimes, if you trip somebody up and you make them fall, then yeah, you're mad with the person who tripped you up. But when you find out that it was someone else that told them to trip you up, the frustration kind of transfers to the person that wanted it done in the first place. So, um, but we still don't know who recorded the footage of the
mhm.
ambulance scene, because in that footage, Bianca was getting into the ambulance with Jade. Naomi and Bailey was next to the ambulance, and you saw Liv and Raquel off onto the other side. So there is clearly another party who filmed it and possibly sent it to Nick Aldis. So we need to know who that person was.
Yeah. Well, look, I think overall it was a really, really interesting promo. It was very emotional, like you say. I think it shows a little bit of the range of Naomi, because I think she was functioning as a face, but we kind of forgotten how credible she is as a heel. I think a lot of people were kind of questioning that, but she does have some background there, and maybe lost her way a little bit as a face. Um, but look, Jade coming out once again and beating her all over the place was just, and Jade looked like $1 million. Like, she was coming out, like how she was dressed and everything, it was
Yeah,
spectacular.
yeah. Um, and it's the little things. It's the little things that goes over people's heads, and by that I mean the outfits. When Jade and Bianca was tag team partners, they always match, and Naomi was kind of like the third wheel.
Yeah.
When Naomi and Bianca became tag team partners, they were matching as well. The night of the segment, both Bianca and Naomi were wearing black. while Jade was wearing white. And we go back to the Elimination Chambers, they both was wearing white and Jade was wearing black. So there is still a connection between Bianca and Naomi. There's still a connection. And then
Yeah.
couple more, Bianca wore a blue outfit that's supposed to represent her crying from SmackDown.
That's
It had like tears. It started from under her eye down to the suit. So the outfits are also telling a story.
You remember the little look from Naomi to Bianca when Jade showed up at Elimination Chamber also? Like
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, same thing with Liv. Liv was yelling at Bianca after Naomi got eliminated, and she was yelling that this was her fault. This
Yeah.
happened because of her. So, um, you know, Bianca is still in the mix of it. She is still the
Definitely.
middle person, but we still need to know who that other person is. We still need to know who that was.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's all been carried out on social media all week. We see the exchanges between them back and forth, and it is quite entertaining in that regard. And Naomi has the new picture up of Jade laid out as her profile picture and things like that.
And
It does make a difference in this day and
yeah,
age. I think it does.
they both swapped their profile pictures. So, you know, Naomi has Jade on the card. Jade has Naomi from SmackDown. So they both like swapped their profile pictures. But I do like the online interactions. But, as we have spoken before we went live, it seemed like it was everybody. It was everyone for themselves. Because you had Naomi and Jay going at it, you had Bianca and Rhea going at it, you had CM Punk and Dominique going at it. So
Yeah.
everyone was um everyone was kind of just throwing shade at each other
Yeah, it
yesterday.
was a bit
Yesterday was
difficult
just crazy.
to see what direction it was going in. Like we say, the kind of lead up to WrestleMania, we thought was a little bit lax, but all of a sudden it's just started picking up now. When we're getting to the business end of it, and that's great because as we saw also, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, what happened between the two of those guys. So like it's looking pretty much like that's where we're headed at WrestleMania between the two of them.
Yeah.
Um, I thought Drew was going to be, in the mix elsewhere, but of course, with what happened at Elimination Chamber, he was eliminated by Damian Priest. Looks like that's the direction they're going in anyway.
Yeah. Um Excited to see where it goes between them two. I don't.
Do you think? Do you think everyone's a little bit bored with Damian Priest at the minute that he needs a bit of a boost somehow? Or um,
Drew could use a boost too.
yeah,
Drew could use a boost too. I mean, because the storyline that he had with CM Punk was so good to when
it's
they
hard to
had to
follow that up.
literally,
Yeah,
yeah. So by separating them and putting them on two different brands, um, it's kind of like, okay, so where do we go from here when it comes down to Drew? Where do
yeah,
we go from here when it comes down to Damien? Um, I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. We'll just have to see how that plays out. Tiffany Stratton, she defeated Piper Niven, and the Queen herself then came out and put her in the figure eight. Um, that was a decent enough match, I thought. But look, we'll WrestleMania, I think, is going to be the big event. I know Tiffany's champion and everything like that, but I think that's going to be her real moment at WrestleMania. Against Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, because by the looks of it, Tiffany might end up retaining because Tiffany has been getting her ass handed to her by Charlotte for the last couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
So no, Charlotte might end up losing. I don't know. I
I don't
was
think it does Charlotte any harm, to be perfectly honest. Like, she's been there, she's done it, she's achieved so much. I think it's kind of, it's like Cena was doing for a lot of the younger guys. It's doing them a favor and putting Tiffany over at the likes of WrestleMania. It's only gonna, you know, do wonders for her. And she's a phenomenal talent, as we know. Like, she's come up through the ranks so quickly, and she's achieved so much as it is. So yeah.
right.
I think she's well sorted there. Randy Orton, as you said at the outset, he got like a 10-minute promo. He got to uninterrupted, which was good. He's looking in phenomenal shape.
Oh yeah. He wants Kevin's ass. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I am here for it. I mean, well, y'all know how I feel about Kevin, which I I put it out there. I said, listen, Kevin, you could say and do what you want when it comes down to Sammy, but you have a very angry almost 290, 295 plus man that you took out after he almost spent 2 years out. So he's
Was
going
told,
to
yeah, not to come back, not to wrestle anymore.
So he's gonna want to hurt you. And sure enough, he came and he wanted to hurt Kevin, and now he's letting Kevin know his motives. He's letting Kevin know how he feels. And he better not see him, because if he see him, it's on site.
Yeah,
It's a
surely
wrap.
that match has to be more than just a normal run of the mill match. Like, there has to be some different stipulations involved.
Yeah. I don't know what they'll do though,
Yeah,
because we already have what is seemingly going to be a triple threat match between Seth, Roman, and CM Punk. So that can't be a regular match either. So I'm not sure. I mean, look, Triple H knows what he's doing. Sometimes he drops the ball, but he understands the importance of WrestleMania. So
yeah,
it's hard to predict what kind of matches it's going to be, but I'm more than positive we'll be satisfied with the results.
yeah. No, definitely. And we also saw Solo Sikoa versus Braun Strowman. Jacob Fatu came out, got involved there. Some tables got destroyed. Fatu is a monster of a guy. Nothing phases him at all. Really interested to see, how things develop with him. Big star in the making.
Yeah. The fact the fact that Braun chokeslammed him through a table,
He got
he
back up.
got up like Mike Myers,
Yeah.
unfazed. That needs to be at WrestleMania. I don't know what type of match it's going to be, but
Yeah.
it's moments like this that make me miss Bronson Reed, because the feud between him and Braun Strowman was really good as well.
I think
But
Bronson, yeah, won't be too
yeah,
far away from coming back. But
hopefully not. But he like really injured his
yeah, he made
his
bits of
leg.
an ankle.
So um,
But yeah, the
but
way things are going, like as you say, we see Fatu and Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. Like, all the potential matches that we're looking at, it's crazy. But we saw LA Knight became US champion once again. I don't know what the story was there. Nakamura winning that at Saturday night's main event in December, only to drop it again. I know there's been talk about him. I think hasn't been proven to be correct, that he's supposed to be moving away from WWE. That remains to be seen. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was a bit wasteful. Nakamura winning it just to drop it again.
it's like I said on another podcast, I think some stories just doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
You know, some stories just doesn't pan out. I think they had a plan for Nakamura. People just did not care enough. And so they said, okay, well, we got to scrap it. Time
Yeah.
to scrap it. Let's put the title back on Night and start over. That's just what I think happened. You know, it's just with the new character and the new music.
Yeah. It just
Fans just
didn't
didn't
work.
care.
Fans didn't bond with it, and that's okay. I think overall, like if you look back at Nakamura's career there, the earlier years, like he won the Rumble, things like that. He was doing fantastically well, but yeah, just these things happen sometimes, and it just doesn't work out. Like he's a phenomenal wrestler, but he won't have any trouble no matter where he ends up or what he ends up doing anyway. That's for sure. But
Right.
moving swiftly along, we had live from Madison Square Garden, we had Monday Night Raw, and that was also a very eventful night
Yes.
where we saw the return of the tribal chief, Roman
Yes.
Reigns.
Yeah. Hmm. You know, with that cage match, I didn't have a dog in that fight. Like there was I did not
No.
have a person I wanted to win. I love CM Punk and I love Seth Rollins equally. You
Yeah,
cannot make me dislike either of them. Um
I wasn't
so
even quite
whoever was
sure what
gonna
was going
win,
to happen, to be honest. Like, I didn't know whether we could even see Becky Lynch showing up or, Roman Reigns. But as it turned out, it was Roman. It's just
oh,
that
I
kind of a
mean,
thing at the minute.
I know people want Becky to come back, but when she does, I don't think it's going to have anything to do with her husband or CM Punk.
Mm,
It's going to be on something entirely different. It's going to be focused directly on the women's division. Now, for instance, hey, if there is a new champion at WrestleMania, whether it's the World Women's title or the WWE Women's title for either show, um, Becky might show up then.
yeah,
Right now, we have Io Sky, who is the champion, we have Bianca, who is the challenger, and we have Rhea, who most likely will get her rematch. If by some chance Rhea regains or Bianca wins or Io retains, I can see Becky coming back and kind of, showing like I'm the next I'm your next challenger.
yeah.
Um but back to the steel cage match. The way it played out probably was the best. Seth won by being pulled out of the cage by Roman. And
Surely we're headed for a triple threat now at WrestleMania.
yeah,
I think it's the
Roman won Seth and he won CM Punk.
yeah.
Weird thing about it is
Paul Heyman is in the mix.
there's a lot of history between the three of them because the whole Shield thing, which is kind of funny. Somebody brought up that over this past weekend, Seth, Roman, and John Moxley all did the same moves over the 24 hours, which is the stomping of the ground. All three of them did it.
Yeah.
So, hey, even in two separate companies, they're still going to be brothers in arms. But
MJF
yeah.
was watching Elimination Chamber. Sure. He
Oh,
did
I'm
that.
sure of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. But yeah, Roman and Seth, they have that history when it comes down to the Shield. Roman and CM Punk have history when it comes down to Paul Heyman. It is interesting that Paul went into the ring to check on CM Punk.
Well,
Make sure he was
Paul and
okay.
CM Punk go back so many years, of course.
This is true, but your tribal chief is right there. He didn't even hide it.
Yeah.
Like Paul had some type of restraint when it came down to Brock Lesnar. He he will speak highly of Brock, but he would never go to see if Brock was okay.
Oh yeah, he
To
kept them at arm's length in that regard. There's just that little
yeah.
bit of a different dynamic there with CM Punk.
Yeah. So for him to like get actually climb into the ring and to check on Punky after what happened, yeah, there is going to be some conflicting feelings with Paul when it comes down to Roman and Punk.
Yeah.
So that favor, I think that favor is going to get cashed in. But what is the favor going to be?
Yeah, this is it. Look, it's fascinating. It's one of those storylines like at the minute that's just really one of the most interesting ones. I think it's because of all those guys that are involved, and they're all phenomenal. But like going back to the ladies, then Rhea Ripley getting involved with Bianca and Io Sky. The two ladies disrespecting Io, as you could see there. Um, where I actually think Io Sky is amazing. She's a phenomenal talent. But yeah, looks as though we're headed for another triple threat there at Mania.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
but it kind of brings up the idea though that where does Jay and Gunther fit into both nights? And the reason I say that is um the storyline between them is a little bit flat. And we have the other ones, the other kind of matches there that could easily slot in as the main event on night one, let's say WrestleMania. So it's possible that they might kick off the first night with Jay and Gunther, you know.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't care when the match is as long as Jay's hand is raised at the end.
Well, surely he will. With the following that he has, I know. Look, a lot of you read and you see a lot of things reported and all that kind of stuff, but there's no denying. And as I always say, he is a veteran. He's there many years. He's paid his dues. I think he kind of deserves it at this stage, and there's no doubting that he sells a lot of merchandise. Some people say, oh, you know, he comes out, the crowd goes crazy once he gets into the ring. That's it, a couple of super kicks and that type of thing. I think that's a bit unfair myself. I think he deserves it. But look, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think it needs to be the main event on night one. I think it could easily kick off the night, get everybody, on a high if he wins, and then take it from there. But yeah, look, we'll just have to see. He defeated Grayson Waller anyway on Raw. Logan Paul, then AJ Styles. Looks as though we're headed for a match between the two of them at WrestleMania. Logan called out AJ. Not interested, no.
Only watching it for AJ.
Yeah.
Only watching it for AJ. I mean,
look,
about Logan.
Logan Paul is talented. There's no denying that. I've said that before. Just he doesn't have to be like shoved down our throat the whole time. But looks
Which
like kind of what's
he isn't. But it's just I feel that way about all of his matches. There is some highlight moments in his match. He is the highlight reel personified, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to being excited prior to his matches, no. And I wasn't excited about him and Roman. I wasn't excited about him and Cody. I wasn't excited about him and LA Knight. I was happy LA Knight took the belt off of him. Not excited about him and wasn't excited about him and Kevin, not excited about him and AJ. It's just there's just nothing very exciting about Logan Paul when it comes down to his matches. I'll still watch it, but
Yeah.
it's not like it's not a match that I can't wait to watch it. It's I'll watch it to pass the time, but
Yeah.
I don't.
It's even more satisfying to see him lose, I guess,
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, just knowing that there is a clock now on AJ's career, because now that he has confirmed that
yeah.
his time wrestling is going to is winding down now. So yes, I want to enjoy every little bit of I want to enjoy every much of his last matches before he does retire. So if that means
100%.
I have to sit here and watch Logan, then I'll just
You're
sit
gonna
and watch Logan.
you're gonna
But
have to.
I'm doing it for AJ.
Doing it for AJ. Brilliant stuff. And Raquel Rodriguez beat Bailey for a shot at Lyra's Intercontinental title also.
Yeah, you should be
That's
worried.
I don't worry about Lyra. I think she's well able to hold her own.
Raquel doesn't fight by herself. You should be worried
Yeah, we'll see what happens
because
there.
you
But
got. Hold on. We have a question here. Would, I would, I would like to see John Cena and AJ Styles one last time. And because John is on Raw, AJ
yeah,
is now on Raw. Um,
I think
if they could, if they
John is
could make
going to
that
cover a
happen, I
lot of
would.
ground. John is going to cover a lot of ground. I would imagine in the time he has left, they're not going to keep this storyline going for the entire year. With Cody, because there's many different stars there that I think he'll have to face. In his farewell tour, which begs the question: then is he going to remain heel, or what way is it going to go? But I would love to see that for sure.
Yeah, but see, now this is where the conflict comes in, because say John does take the title off of Cody,
Yeah.
he goes on to have other feuds with other people. Where does that leave Cody? Is he still going to be wrapped up in the bloodline? Are you going, because
Mhm.
sometimes not everybody is going to be able to do like with Roman. Roman lost the title. Roman left for a few months. He came back and he is still relevant. He doesn't need the title
Do
to
you
still
do
be
you
the
think
talk of
that
the show.
do you think Cody needs the title to stay relevant? Like I don't think he does at this stage. I
It
think he's
helps.
done enough. Like he is the new face. No,
I think it helps. It helps because when it comes down to Roman, Roman is one of a kind. Cody is not Roman. As much as I love
I
Cody,
think he could be doing him a little bit of a disservice there by saying that. Now that's my personal opinion.
no,
Um,
it's true. It's true. I mean, Cody got the title, and you put him in these title matches that people did not care about.
mhm.
And people quickly turned on Cody because they expected him to be in the same position as Roman.
I think they're going to keep heel Cody though in their back pocket, just for special
But if
occasion also.
okay, but if he does, when is he going to turn heel? Because the heel turn should have happened now. But you're going to have him go up against the biggest heel ever, a man that we never thought was ever going to turn heel, John Cena, because people feel like Cody is better as a face than a heel.
Maybe we'll
And
see
if
a double
he loses
turn
that
somewhere along the
title,
line. Maybe we'll see a double turn somewhere down the line. Cena turns back, Cody turns the other way. Wouldn't that be a fantastic storyline?
but then
Catch
what
everybody by
happens
surprise.
with Cody from then from after he loses the title till then, because since he has had the title, he has feud with his whole reign. And people are welcome to correct me if I'm wrong. His reign has been circulated around the bloodline.
It
If he
has been,
wasn't
yeah.
feud, so it's like, if you take the title off for him, are you going to throw him back in the feud with the bloodline? Is he going to feud with Roman again? Roman probably
Randy
wouldn't need
Orton.
him because he doesn't have the title.
I know we have
Rand
Randy and Kevin coming up, but you still have Randy
and you
Orton. Yeah.
and but here's the thing. Roman only wanted to deal with Cody because of the title. If Cody loses the title, he's kind of useless to him. Same thing with Randy. Randy was eyeballing the title. If you take the title off of Cody, what is the point of putting Randy and Cody against each other? Same thing with Kevin. Kevin wanted the title. So if you take the title off of Cody, what storyline can you put Cody in that's going to make people care
But do
until he gets the title again?
you fully believe John Cena is going to win the title at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think John is going to take the title off of Cody. I do.
I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, I don't. I've been wrong. I've been wrong. So, if Cody ends up keeping the title, sure. But you made this big whoop about turning John heel. Now,
But maybe that's all. Maybe that's all they needed to do. Do you know that? It doesn't mean John needs to win the title at WrestleMania. He still has the rest of the year. Maybe just that to make the storyline, more interesting. In the lead up to WrestleMania, get all the money they can out of everybody. Make new T-shirts for John. All kinds of stuff. Squeeze the last dime out of everybody. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not set in stone that he's going to win the championship at WrestleMania.
It's not, but I don't see it going well if he don't.
Is one of the events in John Cena's hometown later this year? If I remember correctly, one of the PLEs, or it's like a dream to me. Somebody said that. Maybe somebody watching would be able to tell me that, but I think that could be the fitting moment, and he just walks off into the sunset then, after winning. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Cody, his fans, Cody's fans was able to get what they wanted for Cody last year.
Yeah.
And it worked out for him. I don't know if they're going to get that a second time. I don't know. If John winning was to somehow play in the role of Cody possibly snapping and turning heel later on down the line, then I would agree to it. I would agree to John winning. Cody winning,
just for the sake of winning.
Is John going to snap? Is he going to beat Cody to a pulp? Is The Rock going to attack John for not winning?
Is Stone Cold going to show up? There's many different ways. There's many different things that can happen. Look, it's all speculation, as always, and that's what we like to do. But we have no real idea what's going to happen. But it can be fun. Just
speculations is fun because I do feel like a lot of them do be watching
Hmm.
and they get the ideas from the speculations.
Yeah, yeah. It's some of the
So, you
wildest
know,
ideas people have.
I just throw my ideas out there. You know,
Yeah.
if it tends to be used later on down the line, you're welcome. Is how I feel. But I do feel like
Before.
you have a lot of people backstage that be online watching the stream
Yeah.
and the
That'd be nice.
podcasts and stuff. So, sometimes the ideas do come from the fans.
Yeah, yeah. That makes perfect sense. We also, it looks like Braun Breaker and Finn Balor they'll be facing off this coming week in Europe, in Brussels, Belgium, on Raw for the Intercontinental title. And Dirty Dom set that up apparently, and looks like he's up to no good there. So look, the Judgment Day is just going to explode anyway. We can see that.
Yeah. Dominique, I'm trying to remember who it was he was talking to. Dominique was talking to somebody in the hallway. I'm trying to remember who it was. And I think people was trying to speculate on whether or not that was going to be the new member, because I guess they're looking for someone to replace JD. Finn doesn't want a new member, but either this person is going to be added while Finn is still around, or Finn is probably going to get booted out of the group himself.
Yeah, yeah. I still think though, Dom, they're going to put a belt on him sooner or later. Maybe it'll be at Mania. I don't really know. But overall, I think Raw was quite entertaining. For the next 3 weeks or so, it's going to be in Europe. So it's going to be, I think, around 3 or 4 p.m. your time over there. It'll be broadcast. So we'll actually be getting it a little bit sooner, I think, on Netflix. That's the way it's going to work out, which is interesting for once. Of course,
no. Usually our SmackDowns will still be aired regular time. So
yeah, SmackDown, is in Spain tomorrow.
so it will still come on at 8 o'clock, but we just have to avoid these spoilers.
Yeah, which is very difficult to do, no doubt. These days, you just want to throw your phones somewhere,
Right.
put them away. Yeah, put them away. So yeah, that's look. I mean, everything looks pretty good there from a WWE perspective, but we also had AEW Revolution over the weekend.
Yes. For those who may have remembered my predictions, I got all of them right except for Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley did not lose his title, but Christian did cash in. But it was a failed cash in. So Jon retained, and he will be facing Swerve, although Jon and Cope has another rematch coming up for this Dynamite. So yeah. But Megan Bayne, House of Glory, Megan Baynes, 200 days plus women's champion. Megan Baynes attacked Tony. She attacked Tony. She attacked Willow. She attacked Chris Statlander. She is making a name for herself. I've met her. She is a stallion. She is the second Megan Thee Stallion. She is, like, I'm not a short girl. I'm 5'11". So Megan is about my height, maybe a little taller.
Okay.
But she is solid. So
I think that height in a female is intimidating, like it is.
It can be,
yeah. No, that's an interesting one for sure. I saw, I didn't see this in full, this pay-per-view, but I did see, a lot of the clips and that from it. I mean, Osprey against Kyle Fletcher. like I said to you last week with Oscar, like he never has a bad match in any way.
Right.
He beat Kyle Fletcher. That looked to be really impressive. We saw Hangman Page beat MJF. Strickland won against Ricochet. Mercedes Moné, which you predicted anyway. You know, she beat Momo Watanabe for the to retain her belt. I think overall it was actually a really impressive pay per view from what I saw, from the reaction I saw as well. I think um like we've discussed it many times about AEW. They need to up their game in various different ways, and I think
Yeah.
they may have achieved this.
Yeah, honestly, congratulations to all those who retain. Tony, Mercedes, Okada, Hurt Syndicate, um, John.
Yeah,
Congratulations to Kenny Omega. He beat Takeshita for the international championship, which now there is a new uh series that is going on for who will challenge Kenny Omega.
yeah,
Um, Speedball Mike Bailey,
that's right.
formerly from
Big dip.
TNA,
Yeah,
debuted it yesterday, and he won his match against Beast Mortos. And
Speedball is class. I
yeah,
saw him live in Dublin last year at one of the OTT events, and he's up close. Like he's fucking crazy. He's really really good.
yeah, a funny story because when I first started watching TNA again, and I had saw him, I thought his mouth guard was his teeth.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, he gotta lay off the teeth whiteners because I thought that was all his, but then I thought it was a mouth guard, so I felt a little stupid, but um, talented guy,
Oh,
and Orange, he won his match, and they kind of had a little minor face off just as the show was ending yesterday, so it
yeah.
looks like
Well, now
Mike and
AEW
Orange.
just need to build on that. I think that got a lot of interest. That got a really good reaction, and I think they just need to build on that. Hopefully, that gives them something to
Yeah.
improve.
And
Overall.
real briefly, Eddie Kingston, he's been gone for several months dealing with an injury. He posted up an Instagram post kind of insinuating that he didn't really like Revolution, which speaks a lot because he is a current AEW wrestler. So I don't know if that's a part of, his way of coming back into it, or if those were just real feelings, but I think it was
Yeah,
more so of him just beefing with John Moxley. So, that's just their way of kind of like bringing him when he does come back. Most likely he will be coming, for John and the Death Riders. But
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
people kind of made that into more than what it was.
Definitely, yeah. And I just a bit of on the indie stuff. There's a lot coming up in the next couple of months here in Ireland. We've got the regular shows from the likes of No Limits Wrestling. There's one in Kilkenny actually on April the 6th. Always a good family event. Hard Knocks Pro Wrestling have Infinity Brawl in Limerick on 23rd of March, which should be magnificent. And you should check out like the graphics packages and everything these guys do. It's amazing. And then OTT have announced Scrapper Mania, which is our version of WrestleMania. And that's for the National Stadium in Dublin on May the 3rd, which should be an epic event. And their homecoming event is in the Ambassador in Dublin on the 22nd of March, so just next week. So plenty to look forward to in the next while. So make sure to stay tuned, I think, for all the news around that, because like we saw before, a lot of the Irish stars that have made their way to the US began in these promotions here in Ireland. So I think anyone that goes to these events will be witnessing future major stars. So well worth checking out.
Yeah, definitely. Um, House of Glory show happening this Saturday. It'll be my son's first wrestling show, so that should be exciting. Indy Hartwell will be there.
Nice.
Mercedes will be there. Zilla Fatu will be there. Private Party will be there. Um, and a few other people, but it's definitely Mercedes and Indy's House of Glory debut. So,
Brilliant.
um, it's gonna be good seeing,
Yeah.
Indy back in the ring after, being released from WWE. Um,
Definitely.
yeah, and then of course, this past Monday, took my son to meet his first wrestler. He got to meet Jay Uso.
That's
Um,
amazing for a kid to get to meet a star like that.
yeah. Wish they had those type of events when I was younger.
Yeah,
We did have WWE New York, but you had to go on certain days. Most of the time it was during live tapings of Raw. So you got a chance to see whoever was there. Um, but then you also had it was a restaurant, so you also had to
that's
pay
right.
for stuff, pay for
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
too. Um, but definitely a shout out to Cricket and WWE, and of course Jay for sticking around. He stayed a whole hour
gentlemen.
longer to make sure that he got to see everyone on that line because that line was long and
Yeah, yeah.
he muscled through it. So thanks to him for sticking around and making sure that he got to see everyone, all the children, and of course all of the lusty women that was on the
And you were
line.
one of those.
I behaved myself because my child was there, but if it
Of
was a
course.
solo trip, it probably would have went down differently.
Okay. Interesting. Well, and let's move on swiftly from that. We never even got to cover NXT Roadblock, which of course was on Tuesday, and I think that was a pretty good event. Also,
Yeah.
that was from the
Um
theater
yeah,
at MSG.
yeah, the very next day. Congratulations to Obafemi for retaining.
Yeah,
Congratulations to Stephanie Valkyr, who is now not only is she the North American champion, but she is also the
NXT.
excuse me, the NXT women's champion. Um
Massive future ahead. Massive.
yeah, even though we
Both of
kind
those
of,
ladies.
well, they kind of put it out there that she was going to get the title anyway. So,
Yeah,
by insinuating that Julia was suffering from an injury, um,
there we go.
so of course it was spoiled, but it was still a nice ending. So,
And Jordan
um,
Grace beat Roxanne Perez, freeing up. Of course, we know Roxanne. There's big things ahead on the main roster for her. I think so.
yes, and the Hardys also retain their titles
They got a
as
massive pop.
well.
Like the Hardys just they never miss a beat. Those guys, they can do no wrong.
Yes. Um, Sean Spears defeated Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah,
Um, um, he is the champion. I believe that was last week. I don't think that was this week. Um,
mm. Javon
but we
Evans.
didn't bring it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he won as well. And yeah,
Yes.
look, it just highlighted the caliber of women's talent and talent in general that WWE has at its disposal there in the likes of NXT. And of course we know they have the was it Evolve now, and there's, oh god, it's just one feeding another. It's crazy the amount of talent that they have coming through. They've also of course got WWE ID out there looking for all the up and coming talent. There's worldwide searches going on. There's all kinds of things. I mean, there's a load of news we're probably not even gonna get to be perfectly honest as well. But Lex Luger, we have to say he's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Cody was announcing that to him while he was with Diamond Dallas Page. I thought that was a really nice moment
Right.
for him. And Lex, yeah, Lex is a legend. So yeah, so that's kind of it. That's everything that's going on in the world of wrestling right now. Anyway,
Yes. Also, the natural disaster.
typhoon, yeah, and the earthquake. Yeah,
Yes, they are
lovely.
also going to be inducted as well. So, yeah, so far the class is looking pretty good. We
Looking
have
strong.
of course Paul, we have Michelle McCool, we have
Hmm.
Lex Luger, we have the natural disasters, and normally there's one more
Yeah, yeah,
category that will be named, and that will be the class of 2025. So looking forward to that.
yeah, definitely. A lot happening. We want to thank everybody once again for joining us at our new time and our new day, and
Hmm.
the new day. Um,
Yes, you're late,
late
sir.
to the
You're
party.
late.
No, brilliant stuff. And as always, look, make sure to check out, if I may speak candidly, and Irish Wrestle Talk also on
Yes.
socials, as well as this one. And really appreciate everybody joining us. Um, yeah, we'll be trying to do a bit more in the lead up to WrestleMania. I think, Megan. What do you think?
Um, yeah, definitely. We are working on a series leading up to WrestleMania. So please make sure that you check out our YouTube channel for that.
Yeah.
Um, it'll be dope. So please tune in. Tune in on the YouTube channel for that. Derek's first video will be dropping sometime next week,
Hopefully, yeah.
hopefully. Um, and yeah, just keep supporting us, please.
Yes, we need it. Thank you, everybody. And we'll talk to you same time next week.
Yes, yes. Every Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m.
Until the time
Derek's.
changes in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Take
All
care,
right.
everyone. Bye
Bye,
bye.
everybody.